You know, only the Batman to get Gamora and Phil Coulson to star in his movie for Warner Brothers. Even though Coulson's just in one scene. Live by Night is the latest film directed and written by Ben Affleck, starring also Ben Affleck alongside Sienna Miller, Brendan Gleeson, Chris Cooper, Zoe Saldana, and Chris Messina. This story is set during the Prohibition era and it deals with organized crime, with the main focus on the character of Joe Coughlin, a man who is a war veteran but now deals in the gangster world. I was really looking forward to this movie because not only has Ben Affleck only put out hits, it is always stunningly directed. This movie is very well directed for its worth. Ben Affleck knows how to get his cast on point, the acting is on point, the characters are on point, they are all very well developed, the world building in this movie is very well done, which you guys know I really enjoyed. The writing is good, but the problem is how the movie loses focus midway through. Let me just focus on the characters first. Ben Affleck is great in this role. The best thing about this character is that throughout the whole film, you can see conflict in him. You can see that this character doesn't necessarily like what he does, but this is the only thing he knows. He grew up with this life, and he decided to take on this life because he's against the establishment. And this speaks a lot to how the character grew, to where the character came from, who his father is, what his father does, what he did in the war, what he witnessed in the war, how the world is when he comes back from the war, how he sees the world outside the world of crime, and he does not deal well with that. The characters around him also are very corrupted, and this is a world that is not filled with nice people. The movie doesn't hold punches as far as the violence goes in this movie. I mean, it is dark. It is gritty. They can get you in that feel of the gangster world. And whenever the scenes of this movie focus on the world of gangsters and the dealings of gangsters and mobs against mobs, the Irish mob, the Italian mob, you feel that you are in there with the characters. Midway through this movie, though, when our character goes from Boston to Miami, that's where the movie loses focus. And being based on a novel, I can see where Ben Affleck, especially writing this movie alone, wants to do as much justice to the novel as he can. And he really stretches out the whole story of this film. The movie loses focus because it loses track of our main character and his dealings. There are many incoming plot lines that never really feel fulfilling when they are done with. Chris Cooper is the deputy of the town he is in, and he is great in this movie. What his character goes through is also very well done. And his relationship with Joe Coughlin, the character played by Ben Affleck, is also very well done. But again, the movie midway through loses track of dealing with this relationship. Chris Messina was also great. I love this character. While Joe Coughlin is a very stoic, very silent type of guy and he wants to do business and be done with it and have the dealings well played through so there are no messes going around, Chris Messina is a very relaxed type of guy. He's a very go-lucky type of person, and I really like the conflict of characters there. Shows that they are different. Again, the movie loses track of exploring this relationship because there are just too many things coming in. For instance, I didn't like how much focus there was on Zoe Saldana's character. I didn't like it. By the end of the movie, you see why there was focus, but I just didn't think it gelled well with the gangster world. I didn't like Elle Fanning's storyline coming in midway through the movie and also getting the focus all to itself. And I think the story is very well done for itself, but it just doesn't fit in this movie. The character of Joe Coughlin, as much as I like him, he's played by Ben Affleck very well, he's well explored, but the character is kinda dull, it's kinda boring, and just like the story midway through, it gets kinda dull. It just feels like it's drifting in this bigger world that surrounds it and surrounds him. In the first 30 minutes of this film, I was in for a ride. I love the grittiness, I love the gangster style. It really feels like old-time gangster films, the very good ones like Goodfellas or The Untouchables or Godfather. It really feels that way. And then it becomes kinda dull. Again, it deals with things that do not gel well in this film. And again, I understand how this is based on a novel, so there are many other things going on. And there are many ways you can tell a story on a novel form. In film form, they don't really gel well together. And in the last 20 minutes of this movie, some things that were implemented in this film come back to pay off, and they pay off. Some things that happen in the last 20 minutes of this movie are very rewarding, and I feel that midway through, this movie lost notion of the story it was telling in the beginning and the story that it went back to in the end. The color palettes are incredible in this movie. I really love the cinematography going on. There are so many beautiful shots in this movie. There are so many well done visual storytelling shots in this film. Action sequences are great. They do not hold their punches. Ben Affleck is great playing this character. All around, the cast is great. They all do a really, really great job. And the music as well, as far as the gangster type of music is going, when there are action scenes, when there are gangsters making deals, when there are these meetings, they are really going to shift the tide in this movie. The music is on point. And again, midway through the movie, when it gets into those really dull and boring storylines that don't really fit well with the rest of the film, with the gangster world, the music was very jarring. Even for those scenes, the music didn't really fit well in my opinion. This is certainly a disappointment for me. However, I cannot say this is a bad movie. This is a movie that loses its focus. However, you can see how movies dealing with these storylines that come in midway through the movie would be well done in a movie all to themselves. Ben Affleck is great. He directs the cast very well. You can tell that this was a passion project for him because he spent a year and a half writing this film. It's a problem that he wrote this alone. I think if he had written this film with someone else, like Chris Terrio for instance, this movie would have been very well pulled off. And in fact, if he had had help writing this film, this had the promise to be his best film yet. Granted, this is coming from a big gangster film fan, but still, this had the promise. Live by Night starts well, it ends well, it has a great cast doing a great job, it does the gangster scenes well. Midway through the movie, it kind of loses you, and so I unfortunately have to say that whether you watch this movie or not, your heart will go on. What did you think of Live by Night, my beautiful geekies? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know two things. What is your favorite Ben Affleck movie, and what is your favorite Prohibition era movie in the comments? Also, don't forget to start leaving your questions for the hashtag Silence Q&A, also in the comments, and ask me anything you want about anything you want. There is a poll on the Facebook page for you to tell me what you want to see this Sunday, because it is the 1-year anniversary of my channel. Thank you so much for you guys who have supported me throughout the first year. I can't wait for another year with you, and I can't wait to meet new people throughout the whole year of 2017. Don't forget to like this video and share with your beautiful friends, and tell them to subscribe and click the bell, and of course join the beautiful geeky community where we can be geeky united. Thank you so much for everything, my beautiful geekies. You guys are the freaking best. I love you all. Stay beautiful, stay geeky. Shit.